Yo guys, it's me Matt, and welcome to the ATBA playoffs. We are facing Rio, coach of the Jalisco Haluchas, and who we battled also against in week 1 in the regular season, where we lost to Gouchin Fire in the sun as he ran double fire coverage with Fair Blitz and Heat Crash against me. This time though, I have a different approach to that matchup. To remind you, his team consists of Gouchin Fire, Streamtail, Torkoal, Bastiodon with the Terra's Steel Fighting Ghost, Everlord Hisui with the Terra's Rock Fighting Flying, Walking Wake, Sliverwing, Venusaur, Sandy Shots and Brute Bonnet with the Dark Poison and Fairy Terror options. Just like with week 1, he has this Torkoal Sun based team with all the booster energy, not booster, photosynthesis mons, like the Paradox mons from the past. And just like last time, Gouchin Fire, Walking Wake, Brute Bonnet, all are a threat, I would say. However, since week 1 we did some changes to our team, and the most relevant ones are that we don't have Dollar Slowking anymore, so I can't rely on my week 1 game plan that I had with a faster Slowking with a taunt to prevent the Torkoal and then go with the Chilly Reception Hail Snow plan. Snow, that's the one. And I also don't have Greventula, which would have been interesting to mess up some photosynthesis boosts if the booster mons get switched in on a sticky web. But we then have a Ninetales, a Lola, and Slowpoke. Slowpoke is not coming this week, but Ninetales, which forces this matchup to be a weather war. Not like the weather war we had in week 1, where I had to click my weather move manually with Chilly Reception. This time it's automatically every time I send in my Ninetales. So, based on how week 1 went, and based on how I played in week 1, I noticed that after turn 1, where I was focusing too much on a Torkoal lead and then was put back, and even if I managed to get some momentum back during the game, it was already too late. Talonflame went down, couldn't Feather Dance the Gouchin Fire, and then it just kinda swept me. This time, however, I am going on the offensive approach, starting with the lead option this week, which is my terror option as well, Bishop with an Eviolite. Bishop catches everything that he tries to lead with pretty good, I think. It matches up really good against them. Against the Torkoal, I can just set up my Stealth Rocks. Against Sliverwing, I Terra Fire, and he probably has to switch out. He can't Will-O-Wisp me. Sandy Shocks I can annoy, so anything basically in the lead matchup is looking good for Bishop. Also with an Eviolite I can survive pretty much at +1 Dragon Dance in Gouchin Fire Surf Crate, and also Sandy Shock Surf Powers and Venusaur Surf Powers. So yeah, the moves are Rock Tomb for the Gouchin Fire matchup, as well as Taunt, Sucker Punch and Stealth Rock. The game plan here is to force in Torkoal as early as possible to Rapid Spin the Stealth Rocks that Bishop is setting up, because on the turn he tries to Rapid Spin. I bring in my actual game plan, Choice Band Adamant Great Tusk. I need to abuse the Torkoal and his son as much as possible with this Great Tusk, and put in the holes into Rio's team so my later mons or other mons can then clean up, or maybe even Great Tusk can clean up, let's see. I'm running the Headlong Rush, Earthquake, Close Combat and Temper Flare. The reason why we are running double ground coverage is that once Slytherin, if he's not running a full HP, full defense set, which he basically kinda brought in week 1, nothing on the team takes Headlong Rush from a choice band booster, energy booster, great task. If I don't see Slytherin or Slytherin is down, Earthquake is basically my next option to click since I don't have the defense drops. The defense drops basically lure in a Gouge and Fire or Water and Wake, and because this is my main breaker, I'm probably forced to switch out on those mods. And they can basically set up for free, which I try to avoid with the Earthquake. Close Combat is just my secondary step, and the Temper Flare is basically to catch a Slytherin that tries to switch in on me. But I decided that in the game, after the first time I click Headlong Rush and see what he switches into, and if he indeed switches in Slytherin and confirms he's a defensive set, the next time Great Tusk enters the field, Temper Flare with a Sun Boost basically outgoes Slytherin from full according to my cards. So this is also like Slytherin lure. Once Slytherin is done, nothing really on his team appreciates close combats, earthquakes or headlong rushes. Maybe Everlord Hisui with a Terra Flying could be an issue, but I think I have options to stop that thing. But if he brings both Everlord with Terra Flying and Slytherin, he is just prepping really well this week. Next up, Ninetales Alola with the heavy duty boots. Of course I'm running the Snow this week with the moves Charm, Baton Pass, Freeze Dry, Encore. Full support and is basically forcing Rio to switch in Torkoal every time I switch in my Ninetales, so he can deny a potential Aurora Veil. I will click Baton Pass every single time I have an opponent in front of me that doesn't want to set up. And then go into Great Tusk and try to get a kill. My whole team is basically built around abusing Torkoal with Great Tusk, switch in on it with some pivot moves and then go ham. Charm and Encore are basically here to stop a potential setup from a Gouge and Fire. Also this Ninetales is a pretty good check against Sandy Shots, which otherwise could go really out of control against my team. It also stops a Venusaur from dwarfing because the sun then stops, and also annihilate. What's the negates basically? Annihilate? Yeah, the one word negates every kind of photosynthesis option that he tries to run. Next up, Empoleon. This is my main Walking Wake check, since when Great Tusk claims a kill, Walking Wake can freely come in and can also try to claim a kill. But Walking Wake can never two-shot Empoleon except with a Weather Ball Choice Specs Sun Boost. This has a chance to do a KO, but if he clicks that, I know from the damage that he is Choice Specs Weather Ball and can then switch in my Ninetales and scare him out with a Freeze Dry. Empoleon runs the Grass Knot Roost, Flip Turn and Feather Dance. Feather Dance again for Gouge and Fire, Flip Turn to pivot out against a Torkoal switching potentially, and Roost to have a second chance to switch into Walking Wake later in the game. Next up, Heavy Duty Boots, Talonflame. Also full support, U-Turn, Tailwind, Taunt and Overheat. I was debating between Overheat and Sunny Day on the last slot, so I could actually trigger my Great Tusk manually if Torkoal goes down early in the game, which I don't think he will let me do, because his whole team is basically built around keeping Torkoal healthy. So I'm gonna try to get as much out of that game plan style as possible. U-turn on a potential Torkoal switch in, Tailwind in the late game so I can potentially get my great task going even faster, so it's even faster than a Gaussian Fire or Walking Wait or something like that. Taunt to prevent any setup, and Overheat just so I have at least one attacking move. Of course it's 4 times resisted by Walking Wait and Gaussian Fire, but it can hit Brute Bonnet pretty good, Venusaur pretty good, Sliverwing at least pretty good. I mean, Flying move would have been better, but there's no good flying move on Talonflame that is special, that hits it well. And also a bit of damage to Sandy Shots, which is nice. Next up, my secondary win condition. I'm running Kyurem in combination with Ninetales, but I'm not planning on running Kyurem in Snow. I am just running this loaded dice set, regular, Scale Shot, Iron Head, Icicle Spear, Dragon Dance. I've never really had this Kyurem up when the snow was up, but basically once something is chipped, Kyurem can come in, Dragon Dance hopefully. If it's not a boost or speed Streamtail, I should be able to get at least 1 or 2 kills, and it's also my late game plan, because it takes surprisingly many hits pretty well. So yeah, that's the game plan. Let's try to see if we can abuse the Torkoal as planned and get the W for the semis. See ya in the game. And welcome back to the game. We see that Rio has brought the same 6 mons that he brought against us in week 1, which are Torkoal, Gaussian Fire, Walking Wait, Sliverwing, Streamtail and Brute Bonnet, with Brute Bonnet being his Terra captain, with the Terra Fairy, Dark and Poison. As I said in my team builder, my lead will be Bishop. I will try to pressure his team with the Stealth Fox, force him to Rapid Spin. On that turn I will catch him with my Great Task with the Choice Band and try to break his team open for a late game or for the mid game, depending on how many times this scenario comes up with the Rocks and the Rapid Spin. Sliverwing is the only thing that basically can take Headlong Rush from a Choice Banded Photosynthesis Sun Boosted a Great Task, but only if he's max HP and max defense with a Bold Nature, otherwise it gets cleanly 2-shot. So good luck, have fun to Rio, let's hope it's an awesome game. As he brought the same mons that he brought against me in our week 1 game, and he leads with Torkoal, I played out this scenario against Torkoal and against Sliverwing in the lead multiple times, so the first few turns should be pretty much how I anticipate them to be. I decided if I should taunt this Torkoal, but nope, I just go for the Stealth Fox, stick to the plan, don't change a plan when you have prepped for that plan. Terra Fire turn 1 to resist any fire move that he has, and go from there, basically forcing him to Rapid Spin on turn 2. So here comes the Terra Fire, here come the Stealth Fox, and he decides to attack me turn 1 with a Lava Plume, which doesn't really do much, although it's sun boosted. I'm Terra Fire with an Eviolite, so yeah. Here I felt pretty confident that he will not glitch Lava Plume again, so he can't really fish for the burn. Because Bishop is here and Bishop can potentially set up on this Torkoal with a Sword Stance or something like that. So this is basically exactly what I planned for and what I practice for in the mocks. Turn 2, Great Task comes in, gets the Sun boost, Photosynthesis, Choice Band, attack boost, and I can click Headlong Rush and see if his Sliverwing is actually his Great Task check, as he actually goes for the Rapid Spin here. So first 2 turns, pretty much exactly how I anticipate them to turn out. Here I go for the Headlong Rush. As long as I don't know what his Sliverwing set is, I don't want to reveal the Temper Flare yet. So I always go for the Headlong Rush. He actually reveals that his Sliverin is his answer. He switches it in. That's a photosynthesis attack boost. Headlong Rush comes out, does about half, which is exactly the card that I have. But because he runs a leftover set, he is now out of range for a second Headlong Rush. But so far, first 3 turns exactly how I anticipate them to play out. Turn 4 is now a bit more crucial. Not that turn, but the turn after. He has to go for Morning Sun or Will-O-Wisp here to judge this great task, otherwise it can go pretty hard on his team. Both moves can get absorbed, or basically Will-O-Wisp gets absorbed by Talonflame, and Morning Sun is fine by me, because the next time Great Task is in, I will click the Temper Flare now that I know that this Sliverin is this defensive set that I was hoping he would possibly not bring. But he did bring the same one, I think, maybe not full defensive invested in each one as well. This is the perfect opportunity for Talonflame to come in. He has to respect the flying moves, otherwise his straight task check is gone, so this is why I U-turn here. Sliverin switches out. Torkoal is his best answer, which also comes in now. And because this is now a bit of a difficult scenario. If he's not running the Heat Watch, the sun will end now. So I can't switch in my great task in case the sun runs out and Temper Flare can't get the kill on Sliverin. So that's why I switched in my Curem, just to scare him out and set up the sun later. But his sun stayed up, so he is confirmed Heat Watch, which is first thing good to know, because I can get rid of the sun if needed with my Ninetales, so this Torkoal is pretty much without an item. Sun boosted Great Task now has more turns, and he's not running heavy duty boots, so all 3 informations are great to know. He has to respect the QM, potentially running some spec sets, so his answer is most likely the Streamtail. I just didn't want to risk a potential Lava Plume set, as my QM is a physical variant, so I decided to switch in my Torkoal, which is also pretty much the safest play against the Streamtail, which he switches in now. Streamtail photosynthesis gets a special defense boost, so that is good to know. It's no defense boost, it's no speed boost, which is a speed boost with Encore against my Dread Dense QM without speed it and lock me in. So good to know. Here I was trying to see what kind of Streamtail set this is, so I tried to shut it down with a taunt. Maybe it's like a Wish Protect set to start to see what I do. Maybe listed Iron Head or something like that, but I catch the Torkoal with the taunt. We are basically back into the turn 1 scenario. We still both have our 6 months, but I've learned a lot of his sets so far, and my plan still is pretty much intact. Bishop now sets up his Stealth Fox again as Torkoal. Last time he ran Rock Tomb, this time he ran Rock Slide. So Rock Slide comes out, crits me, isn't a bit of a deal. Sun is now finally gone. Of course the Rock Slide did a bit, is a bit annoying, but it's not like mattering that much right now. Because he knows the Rapid Spin would invite a Torkoal, would invite my Great Task. I was thinking now, okay, what do I do? The sun is gone, so I need to Rio to set up the sun again. So I decided to switch in Empoleon on this Rapid Spin this time, force the Torkoal out, and then force it back in later, so set up the sun again. So a Rapid Spin comes out, it's fine by me. I can reset the Stealth Fox later on. He now has to respect the Roller move. I can flip turn out and basically get momentum back. Taunt now also stops working on the Torkoal, but this is fine. Torkoal now has to switch because he has to preserve it, otherwise his Paradox Mons can't really function as well. So let's see what his switching is. As we see, he does indeed has to respect the water move, switches out, switches in his boot bonnet, which is fine. I flip turn out of this, and based on our week 1 game, boot bonnet, my check was Talonflame, and I ran a heavy duty boots 1 last time. I was kind of debating if I should go for Ninetales already, but nope. I decided to stick with my plan. Go for the Talonflame. He knows my set with Sleep Dog and Woos that I had last time, so I'm forcing him to either reveal the Terra or switch out, as he does switch out into Torkoal. Last time here I clicked Feather Dance. I'm not doing that mistake again and lose momentum. I stick to the momentum, get the U-turn out, switch out, and be in the scenario that I prepped for and that I really want in this game. Torkoal switching in on a pivoting move, so Great Dust switches in and claims a kill. And this time, because I know his Sliverwing is physically defensive and basically the check to Great Dust, it is time that I reveal the Temper Flare. Torkoal switches out, Sliverwing comes in. I'm not really sure how the calc is, but I think it's a guaranteed auto. From all my mods it was always a guaranteed auto. So yeah, here comes the Temper Flare, and Sliverwing goes down. First kill for the game for Great Tusk. So, he probably knows that I'm now choice locked into the Temper Flare. But that is fine for me, I can just switch out. I have an answer for basically everything at this point in the game, so I can hopefully catch the Torkoal later on again. He now switches in the Torkoal on my Great Tusk. Okay, fine by me, as he has to go for either the Lava Plume, but I wouldn't stay in, so I felt pretty sure he will is it Rapid Spin? Either Rapid Spin or Stealth Rock. Yeah. So, rocks are not up because he removed them earlier, but now he set up his rocks. Rocks don't really bother me. The only thing that is really annoyed by it is Ninetales, because it's one in Boots. It's Kyurem. Only Kyurem is annoyed by it basically. So I get my rocks up and basically have to force him into clicking Lava Plume, and I want him to click Lava Plume so Bishop goes down and I can get a free switch. He actually goes the smart route, goes for a Rapid Spin on my Stealth Rock play. So now I'm feeling like, okay, this turn is a bit crucial, but so far I'm not losing anything. If he kills my Bishop while preserving, while not letting me set up the rocks, that's fine by me. I just stick to set him up Stealth Rocks. He at one point has to do something, because then Great Tusk just switches in and gets another kill. So here come the Stealth Rocks again. I know he can either Rapid Spin me the whole time, or he tries to catch. So basically it was a 50-50 here. If he tries to Lava Plume me on a Great Tusk switching, he's in a great spot. If he gets the burn actually. But if he stays and continues to Rapid Spin, I can freely switch up my Great Tusk and get a free kill. So in this case the Stealth Rocks will stay on the field. And if he doesn't have boots on some of his mons, they all take Stealth Rock damage. Stealth Rocks are up, he has to click Lava Plume or Rapid Spin the whole time, so Sucker Punch is pretty safe. We get a crit this time against him. I don't think it matters as well. He kills me now with the Lava Plume. So far, so good. Bishop set up the rocks. Rocks are up, and rocks will most likely stay. Great Dust now can come out. Sun is still up. Rocks don't really hurt Great Dust that much. We get the attack boost. And because Sliverwing is gone, we can freely click an Earthquake. Based on the only other thing besides Sliverwing that could date an Earthquake would be a Streamtail, but because he showed us the special defense boost, I'm pretty sure Earthquake has a good chance to kill Stream Tail with some Stealth Watch chip damage. So that's what I'm just trying to go for here. Get the second kill with the Tusk. At one point, all the pressure on the Torkoal forces him to set it, or has him forced to set it, but that's why then the point where I win the weather war. Stream Tail comes in, takes the stealth watch damage, that's a photosynthesis boost in special defense. But I'm adamant, full attack, choice band, photosynthesis boosted, attack boosted, and Earthquake kills the Stream Tail. So far so good. He now has either the option of going into Gouching Fire, which can't really set up and doesn't kill me yet, because I'm not lowering my defense for that. He can go into Brute Bonnet, which is probably his best call. He can go into Torkoal, which doesn't really make sense, and he could go into Walk in Wait, which I have Empoleon for. So let's see, it's either Brute Bonnet or Walk in Wait at this point, I would say. The other mons have to fear the Earthquake. He switches into Brute Bonnet here. Gets the Stealth Watch chip damage, the photosynthesis boosts the attack, and I basically I decided to to absorb any kind of grace attack from this Brute Bonnet. This is basically the only thing right now that I need to get rid of, because all the other monsters on his team that are left I have pretty much checked. Brute Bonnet here is the only thing that I need to really chip down or get rid of. He this time runs a Spore set. Last time he went with a Grove Trailblaze set, and I did not bring my Sleep Talk tech this time. Bold of him to assume I didn't, but good call on his end. I have to basically switch out manually because I can't risk not wake him up and him to set up something or set up the sun again. So basically, instead of U-turning what I would have done this turn, it's a manual switch, which is fine by me. I set up my Hail now, so Ninetales comes in and I need to check what this Brute Bonnet is doing. He actually also switches, good for us I would say, and Gouching Fire comes in. Here I have to reveal that I am Charm, because I can't let this Gouching Fire set up on me. He actually does it well. I thought about it, just Baton passed out, but I didn't want him to set up anything, and at this point I felt pretty safe in the game to not have to make, so I didn't have to make another prediction. Charm comes out, Torkoal is now charmed. But what I would have done in hindsight now was the Baton Pass on the Gouching Fire, predicting him, because at +1 Gouching Fire still can't kill Great Tusk, and here it's a difficult call. Does it go because he expects something else? Does it go for Lava Plume? Does it go for Rapid Spin? This is basically a crucial turn. If it goes for Lava Plume and he gets the burn on me, I don't think I can actually do anything anymore with my Great Tusk, and it's pretty safe that he could pull this back. So here comes out the Lava Plume. He actually called it right, but he did not get the burn, which is amazing. Like, the burn would have ruined basically a lot of my plans. I decided, because okay, Brute Bonnet, Torkoal, Gouching Fire, Walk in Wait all would be weak to fighting. Headlong Rush though is, although Earthquake is usually my play, Headlong Rush just with the stab bonus. Yeah, okay, why did I click Headlong Rush here? A little bit of a misplay here. But I think like the Headlong Rush would 2-hit KO a Brute Bonnet with what and Earthquake wouldn't. So yeah, depending on the investment, of course. I went for the Headlong Rush, killed the Torkoal. He has to respect the Headlong Rush so he can set up now. So it's either Hydro Stream or Flamethrower or Weather Ball or Dragon Move. Probably not Dragon Move, but something like that from Walking Raid. Boot Bonnet, who can be annoying, especially annoying right now. And Gouching Fire. I think Gouching Fire so far is still pretty much good in check. And also Walking Raid is pretty much in check. So the only real concern we have right now is this Boot Bonnet. And I think like this is switching right now. Yep, here comes the Boot Bonnet. Last time in this matchup we switched out into Talonflame. But here, because Torkoal went down and Gouching Fire and Walking Raid basically outspeed Great Tusk anyway, I didn't want anything else to take any unnecessary damage. Just go for the kill here. If it kills me, fine, but Great Tusk always outspeeds a Boot Bonnet, and Sucker Punch from this range wouldn't kill me. So yeah, I decided just to click another Headlong Rush here. He Terras here, which is great because all of his Terror options lose the resistance to ground. So Terra Fairy, I don't think you're gonna live this Headlong Rush now. So here comes kill number 4 for Great Tusk, and Boot Bonnet is gone. And it seems like we are really in a good spot this game now. Walking Raid can break through because Ninetales and Napoleon are still in the back, both pretty full I would say, at full health. And Gouching Fire can switch in because it can switch in, but I have still options for that. Walking Raid uses options, he takes some Stealth Rock damage. Photosynthesis in speed, not in special attack this time. Last time he was a special attack Photosynthesis Walking Raid. I was like, okay, maybe with some charm support, Great Tusk could still work as a decent answer to Gouching Fire. And because I know that even if he specs, Empoleon is pretty safe to live 2 hits from Walking Raid. So I decided, because Walking Raid, because Empoleon isn't useful anymore, because besides Walking Raid, because Gouching Fire outspeeds it and Feather Dance wouldn't work, I decided to switch it in now, preserve Great Tusk for a potential late game. He actually runs a Flamethrower and not as Weather Ball. Interesting. Which makes sense because I have a Ninetales and Weather Ball against the Ninetales wouldn't really do that much. Here he basically confirmed with the Flamethrower damage that he is once again a spec set. Specs Flamethrower against Empoleon, I can live another one from the range I am. I decided to actually flip turn out on it in case he goes for Gouching Fire. And if he stays in, I can switch in my Ninetales, risk a 50-50 with the speed tie and hopefully win that one, and because now he's speed boosted, but once I have the snow up, so here comes the Flamethrower, let's do it step by step. Flamethrower comes in, I live. I flip turn, so my Ninetales can come in without any damage. She avoids the Stealth Rock damage because of the heavy duty boots. Ninetales comes in, and with the snow basically cancels the speed boost from the Photosynthesis. Here comes a speed tie. We are 109 speed both. He wins the speed tie. Flamethrower doesn't knock us out. Freeze Dry does knock him out. That speed tie! Woohoo! That 50-50. If he got a higher roll, I think he would have just won there. The game would have been over if he killed me there. Gouching Fire is now his last mon. he doesn't take stealth damage. So he's basically a boot set, like last time. I have 5 mons left. I can charm this thing. I am faster. So even if he Dragon Dances, I can negate any kind of damage to my other mons. Charm comes out, he's at -2 attack. He Dragon Dances. So far so good. If he gets greedy here, because he's at -1 attack now. My final move on this Ninetales basically is to encore this thing, then switch out and hit it with something in my back. I still have my Great Tusk at some kind of health, and I still have, and that's the most important thing, my Cure. So, he's Dragon Dancing, he is now faster. If he kills me, he's only at -1 attack, +1 speed, so I can still do that with Cure. If he Dragon Dances again and gets greedy, which he doesn't, I would have anchored him into Dragon Dance and won the game there. He has the Heat Crash. Heat Crash takes out Ninetales. Curem is now my basically win condition. I have the Scale Shot loaded dice set. I take some damage from the Stealth Rock, but with the Snow support, I have a defense boost. He is at -1 attack. I can live a Scale Shot, I can live a Dragon Claw, whatever. I just need to see if my Scale Shot gets enough hits to kill the Gouge and Fire from full. He makes a really smart play here. He risks me actually not getting the KO, because at this point, even if I get the kill, I win. If I miss the kill, he can't kill me with a dragon move, so it is no one's out this turn. He has to Dragon Dance here. It's the only way of him to win the game, and props for him to figure out the same scenario, because at this point I have 4 mons left, he has 1 mon left. It could have been easily that he just already thinks the game is over, because, I don't know, Kyurem is Specs or something like that. But yeah, he Dragon Dances, I go for the Scale Shot. I get 1 hit, I get 2 hits, I get the 3rd hit, I get the 4th hit, but I don't get the 5th hit. I get the defense drop. I do get the speed boost, but it doesn't matter because he has 2 speed boosts, and the snow is stopping now. This turn of events is really unfortunate. Basically, what happened is that Loaded Dice has a 50-50 chance. He's back at neutral now, by the way. Neutral attack. Loaded Dice has a 50-50 chance to get 5 hits or to get 4 hits. So I lost a coin flip to win me the game right there. I also lost a coin flip in the speed tie department between Ninetales and Walking Rage. If I won that speed tie, I would have probably won as well, because then I could have lived, I think, a Flare Blitz from Gouge and Fire with my Ninetales, because he was at -2 attack. So he had to do another Dragon Dance and could have anchored him into that and would have won the game. I do have to admit though, him not getting the burn with the Torque Call against my Great Tusk Call with the switch in is also unfortunate for him, but that is more likely a 30% of it happening. This right now, with the speed tie and the loaded dice not getting 5 hits, was basically 2 coin flips. It was 2 coin flips, and I lost both. Which basically means now he has a +2 speed Gouge and Fire with neutral attack. I tried that my Talonflame switches in now. I do not have the Sleep Dart like I did last time. He doesn't know that though, so he has to force to attack me. All my tells tell me that U-turn or overheat probably, because what is this percentage at? Overheat does max 8%, U-turn does max 5%. Even if I had like a flying move and would have glitched it here, I needed to wake up. I also did not wake up the second turn now. And now he's faster than me because I lost my Gale Wings. He kills me now with the third Dragon Claw. And here I already thought like, okay, this game is over. The only way I can win is if my Great Tusk survives. And it would survive from the kills that I have. A Dragon Claw and a Heat Rush. This here is just to set to make it more close the game because the differential doesn't matter. And here's the now it's this most deciding part. I mean, basically, Great Tusk at 99 HP can live a Dragon Claw and a Heat Rush. Last time he went double fire coverage. He doesn't even need double fire coverage. I think an Earthquake also does the deal here. So depending on his last move on his moveset, and he has to run a move that kills a Great Tusk, he wins the game here. Here I noticed that I could have saved Empoleon because if he runs Flare Blitz with the recoil and my Empoleon in the bed, if it dies to recoil, I would have won. So yeah, this is now the final turn of the game. Great Tusk against Crouching Fire. Once again, what is the best, strongest Paradox past Pokémon? And it's Crouching Fire. He reveals to have again the double fire coverage. Flare Blitz kills me, and the recoil does not take him out. GG Rio, what a great, crazy, and just awesome game. Good luck in the semis. Oh, my heart just after the game was, I don't know, and he told me the same. Like, I know the video ends already, but I'm just gonna keep talking. This game was so freaking intense. The two rolls, the not getting burned on, the pressure I managed to keep up with the Great Tusk. It worked exactly the first few turns as I hoped they would. But in the end, the luck just wasn't on my side with the tail shots and with the speed dice. And he played it really, really well. The lava plumes, instead of going for the rapid spins, just were amazing plays on his end. Yeah, nothing more to say. I'm a bit salty because the W was in reach, was like really, really close in reach. But maybe next time. Good luck, Rio, in the semis. I hope you can recover from this crazy game. I'm not recovering yet. GG and see ya maybe next season.